Hello guys and welcome to today's video. So we're going to be focusing on one specific low cap altcoin that we're very excited about. So I like doing a bit of research and kind of finding these little gems that have the potential to kind of do that 100 or 1000x return. AJ, obviously we've been researching this. How are you feeling about Rose?
I think it's a really good project, and we've got a lot of information to be showing you guys. So stay tuned for that. But personally, I think it's a really good project. I think they're doing really good stuff, and on the technical side of stuff as well, it looks like it's a good buying opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's just jump straight into it. So first things first, this is what I'm talking about. This is Rose, market cap of $331 million, which is extremely low, extremely low. Yes, we are in like a bull market, a bear market right now. Definitely not in a bull market. There's a lot of red that kind of indicates we're definitely not. But this is just the overview. Yeah, all-time high was 60 cents, so $0.6. Currently, we are a tenth of that. Currently at $0.06. Now, why am I excited about it? So it has actually, no, do you know what? I'm going to start from the top here. So this is the ecosystem. These are some of the partners and integrations. We've got the likes of Binance, got genbank.io, which we're going to come back to later. You've got Chainlink, Kara, loads and loads of very high quality companies, including BMW Group themselves.
Yeah, and Oasis Labs is working with the BMW Group to test applications for for differential privacy in their integrated system. So there is use cases there for it, and companies are using it.
Yes, AJ, that is absolutely, that is amazing, because that's the thing, we need real use cases, and so some of the backers here, A16Z, I mentioned these a couple of days ago on a different video. This is Andreessen Horowitz. They have a $33.3 billion in assets under management across multiple funds. So they're partnering with some very big VC funds. They're the second largest kind of recipient of VC funding in the crypto space, which is crazy, but no one knows about them. And they're backed by Accel, Pantera, and Polychain Capital. So some massive names. But let's look into quickly, who is managing this? So the founder and current CEO is Dawn Song. So there she is, co-founder and CEO. This is just a little bit about her. This was done by Cointelegraph, I believe, back in 2020. This is her, it's a little bit outdated, so I'm not going to get into it. But Dawn Song is a very prominent feature in the crypto space. So have a look at this. Can you spot the two common denominators here? Oasis protocol seems to be up to something way bigger than a Google, BMW, or Binance strategic partnership. Here, the Pentagon is bolstering its AI systems by hacking itself. A professor at UC Berkeley has conducted similar experiments on Tesla sensors and other AI systems. Again, computer scientists work to fix easily fooled AI. And again, so we see this is very bullish news. I'm not going to go into exactly what it is. Basically, the Pentagon are working with Dawn Song herself. So it hasn't exactly named her, but for those of you who can't read between the lines, the common denominators here are Dawn Song, founder of Oasis Protocol, and the US Department of Defense. So it's not just the Pentagon, it's the whole Department of Defense itself. So the Air Force and then DARPA, all part of the United States Department of Defense. So she is obviously extremely well connected and working on a very low cap altcoin that she co-founded.
Yeah.
So let's have a look.
And
what exactly? Oh, sorry.
I'd say she was in an interview with the New York Times, I believe, and Dawn described a critical part of Oasis's mission by saying, as we talk about data as a new oil, it's particularly important to develop technologies that can utilize data in a privacy preserving way. So, we'll get onto that in a moment as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is the thing. Like, I think because I'm obviously everybody, we know that you had the oil rush, you had the gold rush, the oil rush, the data rush,
Yeah.
And I think being able to have that security is going to be one of the biggest aspects as to which crypto actually begins to become globally accepted.
Yeah.
Now, what is the Oasis network? So it's designed to be a privacy-focused, scalable proof-of-stake layer one. So this is contending with the likes of Solana, Cardano, Ethereum, for example. Now, its value proposition is its multi-layer module architecture that enables the scalability and flexibility to deploy low-cost, privacy-focused smart contracts. Low cost is a bit of an understatement here, isn't it?
Yeah, the main shortcoming with most blockchain solutions are, their high fees and their, low throughput and the lack of privacy. So the Oasis network is, built to include a high level of stability and low gas fees, advanced privacy features that allows them to work with, DeFi, for example, and more sensitive data that is encrypted. And, the tokenomics monetization as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And just to give you a bit more context in this, and the way that they do this is through this kind of system. I'm going to call it the Paratime because there are different types of this Paratime. So Emerald is the resulting launch of DeFi applications sparked a noticeable network activity in the beginning of this year, launching the Cypher Paratime in Q2 2022, so later on this year. In fact, that we are currently in Q2, is anticipated to bring Oasis Network confidential smart contracts into existence and drive new use cases within DeFi. That's a very big one. Confidential smart contracts. And like you said, we're going to get into a little bit about how that works. Parcel Paratime is a set of privacy-first data governance APIs designed to give the user better control of their own data and enable developers to deploy an isolated compute environment for privacy-preserving analysis. Because this is one of the issues, guys, is that with blockchains, everything is out in the open. But when companies want to use the blockchain because of the speed, the convenience, and essentially just the ease of use, they need to preserve their data. And that's one of the biggest issues is, you want to have everything on the blockchain, but you also don't want people to be able to see it. If I'm shipping 100 Lamborghinis from, Italy to the US, I don't want thieves knowing that there's 100 Lamborghinis on there. So this is one of the issues. And this is why I think, companies like Oasis will be quite fundamental, really, in scaling the whole blockchain ecosystem. I'm talking the whole blockchain ecosystem, like the world.
Yeah.
Now, there's a few ways in which they are going to be able to do this. So private and scalable DeFi. So we just went through a little bit of this. Tokenizing data. I think this is going to be a massive one. So the Oasis network's unique combination of confidential computing and blockchain enables a new paradigm called tokenized data. With tokenized data, users can earn rewards by staking their data with apps. So think about Google, think about Facebook. They use your data, but you're not necessarily rewarded by these. And if I remember correctly, there was an app that went on, I want to say Dragon's Den or something like this. It was one of those shows where people pitch in order to get funding for their business. And it was where you would be paid by advertisers if you allowed them to, access your data and be able to, advertise to you. And so they can use targeted ads, but they will pay you for those. So that was quite an interesting, that's very much where I think the world is going to be going. So quite an interesting concept there. And then parallel smart contract layers. There's a little bit more as to how exactly it's done, but I'm not going to bore you with all of that there. Now we get on to the technology. And AJ, I don't know if you want to say anything more about this with regards to some of the technology and how it kind of works.
Well, sort of, what you see, I just want to go quickly over, what you see in the crypto space is that most projects go ahead with Ethereum by trying to offer, general purpose alternatives to what, what they do. However, Oasis sees things much differently. What Oasis offers is real alternative to existing solutions, which is confidentiality and decentralization combined into sort of one. And they believe that there's abundant there's an information and privacy enabled DeFi that can also that can only really happen when you approach it the way Oasis is approaching things. And as you said before, it's Oasis is also Ethereum compatible with their Paratime, the EVM, Ethereum virtual machine.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's one thing that I really like, and they've done this by kind of separating the consensus and the execution layer. If you guys watch the Ethereum video, make sure that you do. You'll see that there is, usually in the blockchain you have the consensus layer is it's one layer below the execution. That's why when Ethereum goes through the merge, they're still going to have high gas fees. What Oasis are looking to do is to just completely cut that down, and that's going to be through the Paratime layer. So many parallel runtimes, so Paratimes, each representing replicated compute environment with shared state. And the thing is, because there's so many different, we call them Paratimes going on at the same time, you don't have the blockchain being clogged up because you have loads of them running at the same time. So the big complex, should we call them confirmations or transactions, those big complex ones, they can run at the same time, but you're still able to process them quick little transactions that need to go on. So it doesn't, kind of clog up the chain. This is probably a better way of saying it. Sorry, I was just quickly
and of course,
add this in.
Go ahead.
So by separating Paratimes from consensus, multiple Paratimes can process transactions in parallel, meaning complex workloads processed on one Paratime won't slow down faster, simpler transactions on another. Go on, add in, what were you going to say, AJ?
Well, I was going to say that's, sort of what makes the network unique, is that it separates, the consensus operations from the computing into two, main layers, the consensus layer and the Paratime layer. So the consensus layer is a scalable, high throughput, secure proof of stake consensus run by a decentralized set of validator nodes, and the Paratime layer hosts, many parallel runtimes, Paratime for short, each representing a replicated computer environment, with a shared state.
Yeah, absolutely. Very nicely put there. Very nicely put. And it's like you can see this here. Privacy first. They're focusing on that. It's one of the main focuses. But they also have a $235 million Oasis ecosystem fund. So this is actually, where are we down here? So these are the guys who are kind of putting some of the money into this fund. And look, massive names here. Pantera again, AME Cloud Ventures, Dragonfly, Draper Dragon from Tim Draper, I believe. There's a ton of really big names here. Simply VC, Binance Labs, as we probably all know. So these are some of the names that are putting money into this fund, and it's only growing. $235 million as it stands, the ecosystem fund, just to help people build on Oasis. So it's a good bit of incentive for people to actually begin making all of these apps, begin exploring how it is that Oasis can kind of integrate with more projects. And like I said, I just think focusing on these key areas, I really think data tokenization is going to be quite big in the future. It's hard to imagine, but I definitely think that like tokenizing your own data is going to be something that's very big. And one example of doing that is, we see here, Vietnamese officials back a new partnership to tokenize genomic profiles. So everybody has your own unique genome, your DNA. Everybody has some, and they're all obviously very different. And Asia-backed genomics firm Genetica and Web3 data management firm Oasis Labs have partnered to tokenize genomic profiles with the aim to enhance genomics-based precision medicine. So that if your particular gene type is more, I don't know, I'm not really great at biology, but if you're like more like this and less like this, some medicine is going to work better, for these group of people as opposed to these. Now, what it is that these guys are doing is obviously if you can kind of tokenize these different profiles, you're then able to have a better, clearer set of data that is obviously, it has to be secure. And so you can then look at being able to, what is it that you're able to do? AJ, I've lost my head here. But being able to understand exactly which treatments will work best for this type of person or this type of person, but obviously giving away your whole genome. Some people are very, very averse to it, shall we say, in quite a nice way.
Yeah.
But we want to get into some tokenomics now. I think it's probably the time for some tokenomics. So let's quickly go into those, AJ.
So I'll just quickly mention, the Rose token is used to fuel transactions, staking, and delegation on the Oasis blockchain. And you can get Rose tokens either by earning them as stake rewards or finding them, on exchanges like Binance, KuCoin, and a number of others. But the Rose tokenomics, newcomers to the crypto space often wonder why one cryptocurrency or token is more valuable than another. In short term, it comes down to its token economics, other known as tokenomics. So in this section, in this little bit that I'll be talking about, we're going to be looking at things like sort of the token utility, supply, distribution, and sorry, I'm struggling to say this. The circulation schedule for Rose token, so you have a better understanding of the current and the long term sort of value.
AJ, try and say circulation schedule 10 times very quick.
Circulation schedule. Circulate. I can't do that.
It's the best of it, does it?
No. Well, first let's start off, with some hard facts. So supply, the Rose native token has a capped supply fixed at 10 billion tokens. The token utility, the Rose token, as I said, is used for transaction fees, staking, and delegation on the consensus layer. Staking rewards, that's a big one. 2.3 billion tokens will be automatically, or already have automatically been paid out as staking rewards some of them have already been paid out, staking rewards to stake and delegators for securing the network over time. So token distribution and the 10-year circulating supply of the Rose tokens are as followed. If I can just share my screen. There we go. So this is the token distribution. I might have to just get rid of that. There we go. So staking rewards, 23.5% is going to staking rewards. Backers, 23% is going to backers. Core contributors, 20% is going to them. Foundation endowments is 10%, community and ecosystem 18.5%, and strategic partners and reserve 5% is going to them. And if my screen wants to, there we go. So this is the 10-year token circulation schedule, and you can see sort of at the start, it's very, I lost the word now, but very sort of harsh. The tokens being unlocked. Yeah, massive incline. You can see it double. I think this one here it doubles, and then this one here it's increases by a quarter. I'm pretty sure, and then after that you can see that the tokens get unlocked. It's a lot more. It goes up in a lot more sort of less volatile way.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So just quickly, AJ, where is it that kind of we see, or where do you see, and I'll give my opinion, in a second, but with some of these small coins, are they good to, YOLO in, or how is it that you would be approaching this as an investor, or would you look to trade it? What would be your way of getting into this if you were, and are you actually going look towards purchasing some Rose?
Yeah, definitely. If I just show the chart here, so the fundamentals look great, and if the fundamentals continue to, sort of increase, then there's no doubt about it that we can see the Rose token, back up at all-time highs. From where we are now, that is around an 812% increase from where we currently are back to all-time highs. So if we do make it back to all-time highs, then right now is a great buying opportunity, and that's what I'm doing now. Again, I've been saying this multiple times. I'm sort of staying away from altcoins, but as of right now, the Rose token I think is a very very good buying opportunity because we are at a major support level, which you can see a bit more clearly over on the daily chart. So you can see previously we have used this level as major support. When we did in fact break above this level, we used that as support as well. We've come back down, we've tested it as support here, and it has been used as resistance as well. The top over here has been used as resistance, and as of right now, we are in this in the support level right now. So as of right now, it's looking at history, this is a great buying opportunity. But as I've been saying in previous videos, that as of right now, I'm sort of staying away from altcoins because the market's so uncertain right now. We're not sure if we're going to see any more downside for Bitcoin and the whole general market. So as of right now, I am going to be buying a little bit of Rose, but I'm only going to be buying as much as I can afford or I'm happy to lose. Once I put my money into Rose, I'm just instantly saying to myself, I've lost this money. So I'm only putting what I can afford in because there is still a potential for the whole market to see more downside. So Rose could be hit a lot harder than it already has been. But ultimately, in the long term, I think this is a great buying opportunity. And I would expect to see the Rose token back up at all-time highs when we do see Bitcoin at all-time highs.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm very much the same. I think in terms of short term, I don't think any altcoins are
No.
I guess they are good, but like you said, you have to accept you're going to see more downside, or at least be ready to if you're going to invest in the short term. But in the long term, so I've included Rose into my long term portfolio. So I actually bought some a couple of days ago. And I believe I had some from previously. But that is currently at a loss. So obviously, the market's down, but I don't mind in the short term because I look at this and I see this as being, let's say Google or let's say Netflix back in 2002 when Blockbuster was so prominent, and they even offered to buy Netflix for, I think it was $2 million. Netflix said, "Hey, look, buy us for $2 million or something." And Blockbuster said no, and obviously now look at them, But yeah, I'm going to say long term, this is a great play, in my opinion.
Definitely,
and let me know down in the comments if you also agree.
Yeah, definitely. It's the same for me. Long-term holdings, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for anything short-term because there could be more downside. So what I'm putting in now is for long in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest, that's going to be the same way if I'm buying any altcoins at the moment. I do think it's a good price to buy. I'm happy to buy. I'm happy to buy Solana at $40. I'm happy to buy this at 0.06 or 0.06, sorry. Just because of the potential. And I think this obviously has much more potential in terms of increase of the market cap than something like Solana that's already massive.
Definitely, yeah.
But there you go.
Just have to be a little bit skeptical about if we see more downside to Bitcoin, then there could be a lot more downside for now. But yeah, as you said, this is great buying opportunities for most altcoins.
Absolutely. So anyway, that is our analysis of Rose. Hope you enjoyed it, and drop us a like if you did. And we're going to continue to do more of these like deep dives into finding out who it is who's behind it, what else are they working on, etc. So yeah, drop a like if you like this type of content, and we'll keep it coming. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.